This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. Hi, I'm Mark Alyn, and during the next 2 hours, the insane Daryl Wayne. Hello, Daryl.
Greetings and salutations.
We're going to talk about a wide variety of health issues and topics that reach out and touch each and every one of us. And thank you, Daryl, for sitting in for me last week with Dr. Teresa Dale.
It was interesting and fun all at the same time.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we posted a couple of interviews that you and I did with Dr. Dale. That's already up at latenighthealth.com. We'll have more from last week up in the next day or two. We're going to talk about everything from left-handedness to a certified business coach. Celia Ward-Wallace is going to talk to us about a mental detox. And then John Harper, the owner of WMEL Radio in Florida, is going to talk to us, and Daryl as well, about the events in Las Vegas. Our condolences go out to the families of those who died. And it's just such a weird thing. Our guest now, Karen Howard, we were in that hotel, and it was, in retrospect, a little scary. Karen Howard, the executive director of the Organic and Natural Health Association. Would you agree with that? It was a little scary thinking back?
It was. I think it was a lot scary. I mean, most of us stayed in the hotel, and there were people who, from our cohort, who actually went to that show and were there. So I went through all of my members yesterday and found out that everyone was safe. No one was injured, but we did have people from our part of the world who were there for that concert.
Wow.
And in that crowd running for their lives.
Amazing. Well, the convention that we were at was called the Supply Side West. It's an industry event, and if you have the Karen and Mark vitamins, and we need to buy vitamin C, that's the place to find a supplier. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, it's a really fascinating place because you have everyone there in the supply chain. You have all of the ingredient people there. Then you have all the people who encapsulate. You have the people who distribute everything. You've got the people who buy all that stuff, the brands that we all love and know so well. And so it's a real good example of how committed to quality and integrity, transparency and traceability the industry is. And we took the opportunity to sit down with several representatives across the supply chain and talk about, problems and issues and research. And it's all on Facebook Live. It's on our Facebook page, so people can get little snippets, 5-minute segments of, hearing from the industry's best about how we do everything we can to make sure that customers get what they say they're buying.
And that's what we're going to talk about today. Are we nutrient deficient? We take a look at a bottle of a supplement, and it says 500 milligrams of vitamin C. Is it really in that capsule or that tablet or whatever? It could be, green tea extract. Doesn't matter what it is. If it says it on the label, it should be in the capsule. And for years now, I have heard doctors and pharmaceutical companies say there are no requirements to make sure that what's on the label is in the capsule, and I've disagreed for years. It just makes sense that what's on the capsule, what it says on the label is in the capsule, and it's required. It's the law.
It is the law. It is the law, and so I spend a lot of time talking to the public about how to pick up a bottle and know that you're getting a reputable product and what to look for. The first thing I tell people is we have a lot of rules that we have to adhere to in the industry, and one is that you can't claim that you're treating a disease or that you're avoiding one. So if something on late-night television, the Internet, or on a shelf in a gas station claims that they're going to cure cancer, improve your sex life, or enable you to lose 40 pounds in a month, those are claims that are not allowed to be made, and they're against the law. And it's also just goes to that simple, if it sounds too good to be true, then it is.
By the way, if you do have an insight on that 40 pounds in a month, please let me know.
I'll go for the sex life part.
Yeah, the sex life part?
Yeah, I'll sign up
Move
for that.
more, eat less. It should help everything.
Yeah, it should. But there are rules. I mean, we've talked about this numerous times here on Late Night Health. If you're manufacturing a product, you have to have it tested by a third-party lab to make sure that what you're buying is really what you think it is.
There are even more rules now, with the advent of the Food Safety Modernization Act in terms of that supply chain integrity. And it doesn't mean that there aren't going to still be problems in any supply chain. It's just that, whether it's an herb, a botanical, or a nutrient, you have ways of looking, especially if you're shopping online. Go to that website. Some of these companies are actually putting cameras in their manufacturing facilities. So you can tell pretty quickly a company of integrity through their looking at their research, noting what organizations they belong to in the industry, and evaluating their seals. And also, just remember that nutrients are like food. The number one ingredient is the top ingredient on the label. So if you're buying a multivitamin and you're hoping that you get a lot of vitamin C, and vitamin C is at the bottom, then you know that may not be the right product for you.
Do you hear comments from big pharma, consumers, doctors, people outside the natural food and organic area, that there are no rules in place, and that we need to...
I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. And basically what the argument is that the industry is not regulated like pharma. There's no pre-market approval. So what that means is when I'm a pharmaceutical company and I develop a new product, I have to go through rigorous testing to make sure that this foreign agent, something that's never been in a human body before, doesn't necessarily belong in a human body. When it goes in, doesn't create any harm and is effective. The same cannot be said for vitamins and nutrients because they're already in our bodies. They're in our food. They're in our, whatever we're consuming on a daily basis. So the way they're regulated is as food, and that's the difference between the two. So pre-market approval is the real difference. There are still good manufacturing practices people have to adhere to that include those testing requirements for identity, adulteration. And yes, everything can always be done better, but good companies produce good products. The interesting thing about that, all said and done, for all of us who are really dedicated to dietary supplementation, we don't necessarily feel good like you would after an antibiotic after 48 hours. So sometimes we quit taking them because there's no immediate gratification, right?
Right.
So one of the things we're working on is trying to figure out, once you figure out the great product, what you want to take, you need to really understand your levels of where you're starting and be able to monitor improvement and, document the levels of these ingredients in your body. So that's where we pick up with our Nutrient Power campaign in terms of, do you know your vitamin D level and do you know your omega-3 level? We've got 13 other nutrients that we want to be able to do that for, but right now we're focused on those two.
Those are two big ones. Daryl?
Two big ones that everybody takes.
There's currently a commercial on television, Nature something. I know what it is, but I'll just say Nature something, about gummy bear vitamins, and they say they're the first company to gain third-party approval for content and purity of their ingredients. Well,
third-party certification is important. So there are great third-party certifications there. That doesn't necessarily mean that the dose that you're getting in a gummy is therapeutic. It'll mean that, yes, it may be 500 IUs, whatever the case may be, or milliliters, whatever the measurement is, and that is exactly what's in it. But is that going to be therapeutic, or does it just taste good and make you feel like you're taking a vitamin?
And of course,
that would be the question I would ask.
And one of the things that we all have to understand, and this is regarding both supplements and nutraceuticals and herbs, as well as big pharma products. It doesn't matter in big pharma if it's for blood pressure or cancer. part of the reason they work is the placebo effect. I mean, the power of the mind is just absolutely unbounding.
That is true. And I would say what we're basically putting out to our public is know your levels, live life well.
Ooh,
I am the worst supplement taker in the world.
No, I am.
Incredibly non-compliant.
Me too.
And so now that I know my vitamin D level and I know my omega-3 level, and I would have told you my omega-3 level would have been much better than it is because I eat an organic diet. I take care of myself. I like mackerel and wild salmon. And now that I know I'm on the hook in 6 months to take that test again as part of this national study, I'm pretty good about taking my supplements.
I want to know about how to cook mackerel without making it taste like cat food.
Well, I have friends that take care of that for me and put it in beautiful packaging and mail it to me.
Karen Howard, the executive director of the Organic and Natural Health Association, is our guest. We're talking about nutrient deficiency. We're going to continue our conversation in just a couple of moments as Late Night Health continues. Join us at facebook.com/Late Night Health Radio and latenighthealth.com. We'll be back. Don't go away. More coming up.
Welcome to Guide to the Soul. This is Robert Clancy. To think like an angel, you just have to see the love that's within all of those around you. It's as simple as sharing what's in your heart. When you think, act, and love just like an angel, there's little difference between you and these beautiful celestial beings. When you awake, begin your day in gratitude for something in your life. Start your day by embracing the first person you meet with a hug and a kiss. If you encounter someone in need, help them. It's as easy as sharing a smile or a kind word. And most importantly, love, love, love. It's that simple.
For more inspiration from Robert Clancy, visit guidetothesoul.com or go to the Moments with Robert page on latenighthealth.com.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252.